filters. Please play around with these filters in your own instance. Uh, you can try to imagine any of the scenarios and apply these particular filters. So right now, let me start with some of the user creations also, because every time whenever an instance or whenever any application comes up, let's say either it's a Facebook, there will be users created that can use that particular application. So if you type users on the left hand navigation or left navigator filter, you will see so many things and so many applications and modules coming up which contains users inside it. So but what we want is actually is you can click on any of these and apply the filter, but what specifically we want is user administration and users. So this will take you to the users table. How we can say we are on the users table is by this particular name also, and by looking at the URL which says sys underscore users underscore list. Underscore list is showing you the list of the table, but the actual name is sys underscore user. So this is a very important table, sys user table inside ServiceNow. Currently we have 626 users out of the box, and we can create any of the users we want to. We can create them manually or we can create them by external sources. But yeah, let me just quickly try to create some of the users manually
So
for our learning purpose. Yes. Anyone had any question up
yeah,
until
this is
now?
what is the difference between where you went and where is if you go to system security and users?
Yeah, so if you go to, where is that,
Systems.
system security, it will take you to the same table actually. But that kind of application, it's the same application, it's the same module that is residing under different applications. So you can see the same thing in system security also, and in, but in service administration, these are user groups. So we can try to click on anything, but we will redirect it to the same thing, because users table is the main sys user table. What you have to take care is in this particular text over here, this is the table name. So let me take you
So,
to,
so
yeah,
basically, as per my understanding, the users table reside in multiple modules, and if we click on any of them, it will land it to the same place.
yeah, it can. So some of the modules will actually land you to a different, let's say, mm, how would I tell you? Let's say there are properties. Yeah, sometimes it is, and sometimes they can land you with an applied filter. Let's say we're looking at logs. So under, so under this particular system logs, we have the system which says logs as all, and logs as warnings, and logs as errors. So it will actually take you to the same table, which is syslog table. This is also syslog table, and this is also syslog table, but it is applied as a different filter. So these are created on today, these are created on today but level warning, and these are created on today but level error. So that's why we tend to go directly to the user administration, because it is foolproof and people will not get confused. So go to the actual application and select the actual module you want to look at it. So let's say I type user again. So it is a good idea that I go with the fundamentals and go into user administration only, because right now I want to create users. uh, yeah, agreed that you can also create users from system security, because we have all these modules, users, groups, and roles. It will take you to the same place, but right now we are administering them, we're creating them, right? So it's a good idea to create the users. Click on the users module from this thing.
So my doubt is, Gaurav, like if we go to that particular module, system module also, if we create the user, it will like create the user in that same table, right? Use.
Correct, no issues. It's the exact same thing, but the
Hmm.
same thing, same module is given in a different application also. So how we have seen as uh, my company, which we recently did. My company, not even my company, properties. We recently changed the logo, right? And what we actually accessed was these basic configuration, my company, and all of these things. So this is basic configuration, this is basic configuration UI 16. both of them are actually same table. You see system properties UI, and both of them are actually redirecting us to the same thing. We can try to work between these, but this thing has some options, this thing has some more options. So if you want to play with color themes, morning, you can try to apply this one, change colors from here. So it's what we have to keep an eye on is what is the exact table we are working on. So we have to keep an eye on this particular thing. Okay, I'm trying to create a user inside sys user table. It should not be any other table that I'm trying to work on, or there should not be any applied filters. So even if I'm on sys user table, I will make sure I click on this all to remove any of the filter, and I see all of the users that are 626 users right now. So to create a user, you can simply click on new, and it will give you a form that will have to fill, give them the user ID, and oh, sorry, I hi Nagaraju. Okay, I was not able to add him for a long time, so sorry for that. So
Sorry, there is a network issue from my side. That's the reason I'm joining again and again.
okay, what have you missed? So we covered the list filters right now. I hope you haven't missed a lot of them. If any of you guys miss something, you can directly reach out to Prasad, message him, and he will inform me. And if by mistake I miss someone, then we can quickly add them to the class. So after applying the filters, Nagaraju, we were trying to create users, and to create users, we create users inside a module, which is a user administration, or as other people said very correctly, is system security. But we have to find the users application. So under users administration, we see users and groups and their roles and everything. So we'll click on users table. It will take us to the users table. We can identify the table name. This is the sys underscore user table, and underscore list is showing us the list actually. So it will showing us the list of all of the users, but the actual name is sys underscore users. I will show you the uh, use of this list keyword, which is also very useful. So to create the users, we will come to this particular table, sys user table, and click on new, and we can fill out the form and we can create some users. So for the training purpose, let's just create some of the users, and I will show you what all permissions we can give them. So the first user that we're trying to create is um, st dot itil. So training.itl, and the first name will be training, and the last name you can give any name you want, but I'm trying to be specific because we can identify by the name also. So the title I have given is training ITL, and this is the same thing. You can apply any of this, uh, try to fill uh, as much data as you want, but even if you don't fill, just fill the mandatory things, right? So we can just click on, we can right click on this form, on this header, and click on save. One way doing this, we can save here. One way is we can submit, and we can do the same save and other things from here also. So right click and click on save. So first user we have created is, we previously had 626 users. So when we have created, this is showing us a notification that primary email device for this particular user is created. So that means this user is actually created. So if we click on the users again, or go back, or let's just click on the users again, the users list, we have 627 users now. How can we see where is our ITL user which we created? Is we can filter out by created, click on this, and we will see our newly created user is here, training ITL. Let's create another one, or let's just open this one. So let me create another one by clicking on this new icon again, new button. Let me create training dot service desk. First name will be training, and the next name will be service desk, and the title will be training desk. space service desk. So no need to even give the email, that is not mandatory. So this second user is created. Now I want to create a third user. So and see, I'm doing the same thing. I'm filling this particular thing, filling this thing, third field and the fourth field, and I'm doing it again and again. Instead of doing it, there is a shortcut you can do is, let me just create another user, which is self-service training dot. So I will, on this particular form, on this user record, I'm trying to modify this existing user, the training service desk user. We'll try to rename it and say training dot self service and training dot self service, training dot self service. So instead of clicking on save or update or submit or anything, I will do one thing. So I will try to insert and stay. So insert and stay will, what will do, create a copy of the current record with the modified value. It will not modify the current record, but it will create the new copy with these new values. So if I by mistakenly save it, it will modify the old record, which was our service desk user, and replace or rename it to the self-service user. But I don't want to do that. I want to keep that old record also and insert this new record also. So if I click on insert, right now we have 3 records. So if you again go and click on users and go to user administration, click it in a new tab, you will see right now we have 629 users: training ITIL, training service desk, and training self-service. Right. Similarly, I can do the same thing for one of our last user is ITIL manager. Training dot ITIL manager and training space ITIL manager, and I will do the same thing, insert and stay. So it will not impact my existing record. It will actually create a copy. I don't have to fill everything again and again. So we have created these 4 users: training ITIL, training service desk, training self-service, and training ITIL manager. For one, we had given an email. For others, we didn't, because it's not mandatory field in that particular form. So these particular users are created, and if you try to even log in with these users, you can actually log in, but it will not contain anything, because the name is showing them something, but it doesn't contain any of the roles. Let's say I'm coming to training ITIL manager. This user is created, very well done. Its name, its first name, title, everything is created, but this user is not entitled to any role or is not part of any group or anything. So it's right now it's exactly like a dummy user on or an external user without any roles. So I will also show you the difference, what roles actually makes the difference. So let's just open the training ITIL user first and try to give it some roles. So if you scroll down in the roles related list, these are the related list, guys, which are related to the particular record. I will show you how. So if we try to give the role or assign the role to this particular user, which is training ITIL, let me try to assign ITIL role only for this. So I will try to select ITIL and bring it to the right side and click on save. So right now our training ITIL user has all these roles. You see, we only gave him one role, and all of these roles are automatically inherited because ITIL have all these roles inside it, right? So we gave them only ITIL role, but other roles are inherited with ITIL because they are part of this particular role. So we have given this ITIL role. Now closing this tab, let's give another role to this guy's service desk. Service desk can also take ITIL role. Uh, t- 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 So this also have 41 roles. Closing this also. Self-service will be the external user or the self-service user. Let's not give it any role right now and close it, not required. And the ITIL manager, if you guys see, the ITIL manager will have 2 roles, which is ITIL and ITIL admin. So you can try to give any role you want, but I'm just trying to be specific because of the names and their functionality. We've given them 2 roles, and let's see how many roles got added. 49 for this. So how you can actually verify is uh, you can refresh this and try to log into this particular instance using these. Let's say I open this. Uh, Not this. Let me open self-service guy and try to set a password for this. Generate. So this particular password is generated, and let me open this and copy this into the notepad, and let me open the incognito window, grab my URL, and we're trying to log in with self-service user, the user which does not have any role. I will show you what all it can see actually. So to log in, oops, I haven't saved it, my bad. Generate, copy and save and close. Save the new password and the user ID. With the user ID, they can actually log in. And this thing is saying password needs reset. So when the first time I will try to log in, it will actually ask me to reset the password. So I have logged in with the self-service user. It is now asking me to reset the password. Current password, let me give it quickly and let me fulfill this password requirement, which says
So Gaurav, like all our like we are also like users only, right? For ServiceNow, like our credentials also will go to this particular table only.
yes, all
Okay.
of the user's credential will get saved into this user table.
Okay.
But there are some criteria that does not allow you to save. Actually, it will encrypt your password, or
Okay.
anyone cannot see the password. And even if someone or the admin wants to change it, they can just generate it and they cannot
Yes. Yeah. Got
see it here. So there are some
it.
other methodologies. So even when the admin generates it, he will not be able to see it. An automatic email will be shoot out, which
Mm.
only you can see your password. So let
Okay.
me try to give another password. I don't know why. @, system 20RD.
So if we give
Why?
that, if we did not give the email address here, that is the reason it is not going to that email address. So like if we give any email address, it will not allow us to log in as this user, right?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
So for this particular user which we have created now, we did not give any password, any email.
Yes.
So that is the reason it is allowing us to log in as this user.
No, it's not like that. Any user can be logged in without the email also. They only need a username. So,
Okay.
but yeah, email sometimes it is mandatory, because when so right now we're creating users manually, but in real time scenarios or in organizations, you will not create one user, users one by one manually, because there are thousands of users that are
Yes.
coming and
Yes.
going out. So there are some external systems. Let's say an HR system is there, which is keeping a record of users. So ServiceNow will integrate with those HR system and will run some schedules or on day-to-day basis, which will fetch out the data of newly created users and remove the data the users that have left the organizations or something like that. So this is completely automated, but I can show you by creating manually how
So in
things
the
actually
real
work.
world, we are having some authentication mechanism, like we cannot log in like this,
Correct,
even we
correct.
have the admin
We'll
access.
have SSOs and other things, so we can log in using that only.
Yeah.
It needed any digits, so yeah.
I'm trying to give them invalid current password. My bad.